back in the day, they said you were either a locker or a pop locker in Los Angeles. Pop locking is an LA flavor of poppin', period. You go to Watts, you go to Compton, you go to all kinds of different hoods, they'll clarify, yeah, there was such thing as a pop locker. They might say West Coast pop lock, but it was born in Los Angeles. They meant a West Coast flavor, and it's mixed with many styles. From animating to ticking to tutting to roboting to anything you can think of. Creatively, there was no rules. There was no confusion between the word locking and pop locking. Pop lockers were black and white, Old English lettering. There was a whole dress code, a whole look. You know, where lockers were more funky, they had louder clothes, brighter colors, they were more funky and funny. It was more of a get happy dance. So when you hear this word, I take it and I absorb it, and because I've lived it. I wore it on the back of my shirt in Old English lettering. So it's something that's real to me, you know. And today I've been able to pass on my heritage. I call it my heritage, my street heritage. People need to recognize is that we all have our own history, and that no one owns this dance, and not one man made this up, because that's impossible. It's almost like saying I made up music, and that's nearly impossible because there's so many different types of music from different areas and different places. Bopping and pop locking are both two styles that need to be recognized out of Los Angeles, because boogaloo wasn't our style. You know, and I don't care what anybody says. That's a northern poppin' style, and they have their own flavor and we have our own. And it's respect for respect, you know. And also people need to recognize that people were creating at the same time. And there wasn't many cameras around, so you can't say Manny, Mo, and Jack made up those three moves when actually Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy were over here doing the same thing but in a different way. They were doing it maybe a little bit harder, but they were doing it more in a humorous way. But they were basically doing the same thing. That's why when I had youngsters come up to me and said, yeah, well, I was told by certain individual, if I'm not doing this or that, then I'm not popping. In the hood, there was no rules. The rule was you beat that motherfucker. You put him to shame and you take him down. That's it. You know, it was your dance against his. And your job was to be more creative than him. Your job was to be harder than him. And your job was to last longer than that fool. And to make a point, to walk in that hood and be able to walk out with your name. And your name meant everything. You know, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about fame. It was about respect.